Burden, a play by Elizabeth Gjelten. Characters.
Diana, African-American, female, mid-60s, very well preserved, played by a live actor, though she sometimes works a sock puppet. Her clothing is elegant, yet understated. She carries herself as wearing armor.
Phoebe, white, female, early 60s, not well preserved. Played by a live actor, though she sometimes works a sock puppet. Her clothing is worn but neat. She carries herself as if on alert to constant danger.
Mama Vim, a puppet with attitude. Ancient and shrunken. Even though she's dying, she's still got her sense of humor. Phoebe's biological mother, Diana's spiritual mother. She's manipulated and voiced by a puppeteer. She has an IV morphine drip in one arm.
Setting, a dying room.
Time, the timeless time of a dying room.
Scene, Diana is alone on stage.
Don't make me do this. Please, not this. I haven't forgotten what I owe you. I would do anything for you. Anything in my power. The point is, how do you know that this would be in my power? Oh, I know. I know you've always said I could do anything. You always held my power up to me. How you mothered me. The last of my mothers. The one who gave me life. The one who nurtured what was given. And you. The one who saved my life. And so yes, for you I'd do anything I could, but this, to call her to this room, to share this room with her, to open that Pandora's box? No, that's not the metaphor. I know what's in there. I'm not curious. I shut that box and kept it shut for 40 years. I never told you what she did. I thought it best to leave some space inside that thumping mother heart of yours. Some space where what you did for her was worth your life. Some space where she was still the girl she'd been back then, the girl you loved, the girl I... And what makes you think she would even come? After all those years, avoiding you, avoiding truth. And even if she comes, what then? What do you expect? An apology? What words could compensate? Repair. Make whole. My life's work to obtain compensation for torts, but I know there's no such thing. I should have known it'd come down to this. Blood. All those years you called me your beloved child. Claim to love me like your own. Showed me the fool. This is truth. On your deathbed, whose presence do you crave? Whose voice, the last vibration in the cavern of your skull? Whose touch will bring release? Remember what you used to ask me for? To put you in an old rowboat, no oars, and send you on the water's silver plate until you faded in the mist. That I would do for you. But this, please know this.
A shift. Time moves ahead.
Oh, my lord. You actually came.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, I don't... Do I?
Yes, you do.
They told me, they said it was my mother. I knew it had to be, and she couldn't be. Nobody lives that long, not in prison. I've assumed for years that she... Mix-up! That's what it is, it's a mix-up. I should have always seen those people, the bureaucrats, the bureaucracy, they always get it wrong.
Not this time.
This is not happening, this is not happening, this is not happening, this is not real. No, this is happening, but it's not what you think. Taco, there is an explanation. The world is explainable. I'm sorry. I must be in the wrong room. They told me my mother was here, but I must have gone into the wrong room, and well, you just reminded me of someone I once knew a long time ago. So, excuse me. I'll just never mind the crazy old lady. Never mind me.
You aren't in the wrong room. This is your mother. And yes, it's me. Someone you once knew.
Oh my God, no. Dee? Oh no, it can't, you, but why, what, you? What are you, why, what are you, I don't.
Can you take a breath for 1 second? Stop thinking about yourself and whatever it is you don't. And look at your mother. You asked for this? Good luck. No, I did not agree to that. You knew the terms I set. I'll be back.
No, wait, you can't just leave without, the world is explainable, one thing at a time. First, to confirm, that is my mother,
Confirmed.
but it's not.
She can hear you.
Oh.
She may be blind, but she can hear.
Did you
Did I what?
see? Nothing. Never mind.
I hesitate to ask, but are you okay? Should I call for help?
Yes, no, I mean, I'll be okay, if I can just, are you the owner of this place? or the, I don't know, the manager, the CEO? Obviously you're not, I don't know, an aide, a nurse, or whatever.
Obviously. And no, I'm not any of those things.
What are you doing here with my mother? If that's who she is. If this isn't some kind of convoluted... Don't go there, don't go there.
Right, don't go there. Instead, you might consider this. Might ask this of yourself. Why is this interrogation, this search for explanation so important to you now? More critical than giving your own mother the one thing she desires before she dies.
How do you know what she desires?
She told me. Didn't you, Mama Dim?
I thought you said she could hear.
She can. She's being coy.
It's not much what I asked for, just an explanation. I mean, there must be a... This is not a coincidence. You, me, her. This is not a movie or a dream or in my imagination, I think. Anyway, I need to know what's going on, otherwise...
Yes?
Otherwise I won't be okay. I need to know why you are here. What is your connection to my mother? I need an explanation.
Bravo for you for stating your needs so clearly. Nevertheless, I also have needs. I need a cigarette. I need to leave this room now.
But that's not fair. You can't leave without... You know what's going on. I don't, so it's not fair. It's not a...
Level playing field.
Just tell me. Then you can go. Why are you here?
She asked me to bring you here. She insisted. Called in a long due debt.
It was you? The notice said Department of Corrections. They said compassionate release. They said only living family member. They said imperative that I come to...
I know what the notice said. Believe me, CDCR does not have the resources or the inclination, for that matter, to track down a daughter who has not once visited, called, or sent so much as a postcard to her incarcerated mother, particularly when someone else has come forward to provide the care.
How do you know what I've done?
Or not. Your mother told me. Every time I called, every time I visited, not that last, and as if I had, she always said, no, she hasn't. No, not yet. She never gave up hope.
What were you doing visiting my mother? How do you even... You never met her. She was already in jail when you and I... Oh, okay, I get it. I know what's going on. I didn't want to go there, but it's the only explanation.
Now you piqued my curiosity. Do tell.
It was a con. You sought her out. Oh, she wouldn't have been hard to find. You befriended her. You gained her trust. Oh, she was so willing to look the other way. So when she loved lied to her.
Seriously, what was the con? What would I gain?
Revenge.
How do you imagine that would work?
Well, you befriend her, and then when they're gonna let her out, compassionate release, not parole, because she's like that, and they don't want to pay for it, and so they let her out, and because you befriended her, she put you like on a list or something, and then you get me here somehow. Oh well, of course you just admitted it was you. You forged the notice and sent for me so you could.
Yes. So I could what?
I don't know. Hurt me somehow. I haven't seen it yet, how it plays out. So I don't know exactly, but somehow. I know you have a plan. You always had a plan, and your plans were so good. You were so good at spinning your story about your plans, how you were going to take over New York, and you were going to become a great singer, and I was going to become a great writer, and we were going to have this amazing life. What's so funny?
You are too much.
Suck your teeth at me.
I see your paranoia has not diminished with the years.
Well, you know what they say. Just because you're paranoid.
Dee, stop. We're being trailed.
What?
See that guy? No, don't look.
How can I see him if I don't look?
Look sideways. Across the street, in the hat.
Okay, I see him. So what?
He's a cop, undercover. He's trailing us.
You're being paranoid.
He stopped when we did. Doesn't he look like a cop?
Why would a cop be trailing?
There's a warrant.
What?
Sharon said.
How did you?
I called Colette.
I told you not
I
to.
had to know what happened with the trial.
What does that have to do with that
There's
guy?
a warrant out for your arrest. She said.
Why would there?
Kidnapping.
Me? Who did I supposedly kidnap?
Me, silly.
You wanted to come with me. You begged to come with me.
Yeah, but I'm a minor and you aren't, so kidnapping.
That's crazy.
Check it out. Come on, start walking fast. See, we speeded up when we did.
That's just a coincidence.
No, look. We stopped, he stopped. Here, cover up.
I can't breathe.
No, I'm trying
I can't get
I'm trying
off.
to protect
No,
you.
get off.
Let me protect you.
Off.
Oh,
What?
he's gone.
You're so paranoid.
I am not.
What happened
Oh, I put him off the trail.
with the trial?
Oh, they convicted her. She's in prison now for life. Is she saying something? What's she saying?
I don't know. She stopped speaking weeks ago. Stopped eating too. Her last words were, "I'm exhausted from existing." Nevertheless, her heart beats on. For you, I must suppose. The daughter she was waiting for. So, once again, I'll leave the two of you alone.
Is it really you? I know it's you, but I can't. I mean, look at you. Well, I mean, you can't look at you, but I don't see. I don't see Mom in there. Mom. 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 Mom, can you hear me? Can you hear me? How do I know you're real? Ah! Oh! Oh! Whoa! 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 What's going on? What's going on? What? What? Oh my God!
It's nothing.
No.
But shouldn't we get a nurse or yeah, she could be having a stroke or.
She's fine. Aren't you, Mama Vim? She just wants her way.
But what's that? What does she want?
Why don't you ask her?
You said she's not talking.
I suspect she's saving her voice.
For what?
You tell me you're her daughter.
And what's with Mama Vim?
It's what the other women called her.
What women?
In her unit, the other inmates.
Her name's Louise. Where'd Vim come from?
Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. She loved that name.
Vengeance? Is that supposed to be a joke about what she did?
No, not a joke. She wielded power in that place, even with the guards, a kind of power no one could describe.
How do you know all this?
haven't told me what the deal is with you and her. You can't pull my strings, drag me in here without telling me what's going on.
That should be obvious. Your mother wants to see you before she passes. Her long, estranged, beloved child.
Yeah, well, I get that she would want me, but I'm not that dumb. What I don't get is why you're here.
What does that matter? Your mother wants you here, and here you are. If you can actually manage to stay in a room with her for more than 30 seconds.
The only reason I'm here is because you're here. And because you have some kind of a connection to my mother, and that has to be because we had the connection that we had, you and me. So even if you leave the room, you'll still be here.
What exactly do you want?
Well, I want to know how you met her, how you got close to her, and why.
And what would that do for you?
Because if I have an explanation, if I know it's, real life, like outside my head, then I can deal, or try. I can do what I'm here for, apparently. Be in the room with her. I want the story.
Baby doll, that always was your weakness, wasn't it? Again?
Tell me a story.
Oh, baby doll, not now. Let me sleep at least.
Please, pretty please. I'll make it worth your while.
Oh, really? How?
I'll do that thing you love the most. That thing that makes you sing.
With your tongue? Inside?
Yeah, all the way. I've been working out, see?
Oh my. Oh my!
Story time. Once upon a time, snuggle, snuggle.
Once upon a time, there were two girls.
Oh, not girls, young women.
These were girls. It was the 60s. Still, 68 to be exact, and they were teens.
One of them was old.
19's not old. And the other one was only 16.
Just a child. They were still innocent.
Nope, their innocence was stripped away.
Ooh, like they'd been scalped.
Yes, just.
Giant blood and bloody flesh and naked skulls.
Ew. But they stitched each other up
With big needles. Stitch, stitch, stitch.
till they were quilts.
Like grandma's quilts from scraps.
They were scrappy girls.
They were orphans. Orphan Annies.
Almost orphans.
Motherless, fatherless.
Grandmotherless.
But they had each other.
And together, they set out their epic quest.
To find the lost princess.
We're off to find the princess. The Sargo princess is lost. Because. And they set out to find the promised land across the continent.
Across the wilderness.
Where they encountered wild beasts, monstrous monsters who wanted to devour them.
Eat their heads off. Chomp, 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 chomp.
But the scrappy girls, they survived, made it to the promised land, just barely, hungry, tired, cold.
But they had each other.
And their stories.
And their tongues.
And their tongues.
Lick,
Oh,
lick,
my.
lick,
Oh,
lick,
oh,
lick.
my, oh. Baby doll. We are not going there.
I'm not going anywhere. But I am still waiting for the story.
That is a story that requires an expensive bottle and a long night.
I don't drink anymore. Oh, don't suck your teeth at me. You think I'm the same person I was 40 years ago? Huh, not the same person I was 4 years ago. And what about you? You have to have a drink to tell the truth? To show the tiniest crack in your armor?
It was a coincidence.
Oh, come on. What, you bumped into my mother in prison, huh? You don't look like an ex-con.
What does an ex-con look like?
What?
I was a lawyer.
What happened to your great singing career?
You!
I knew you'd go there.
You want the story or not? It was an internship, interviewing women in prison for killing their abusers, a kind of early innocence project.
My father did not abuse my mother.
Right, he abused your sister. To be precise, he raped your sister, impregnated her.
According to Mom.
We are not relitigating your family history.
You knew her name. That wasn't a coincidence.
Not exactly an uncommon surname.
Yeah, but you saw the file, right? Pastor's wife poisons pastor with oleander? You knew who she was, admit it.
Yes, I knew. Point for you.
Then why, if not revenge?
Curiosity? All I had was your stories, and as witnesses go, you are not the most reliable.
What were you curious about?
How far the apple fell from the tree? You always said she was crazy.
What she was.
If so, incarceration had a salutary effect on her mental health.
Because she couldn't get her value inside.
You'd be surprised what you can get inside.
Did you tell her who you were?
If you mean who I was to you, or had once been, I didn't need to. She knew.
I never told her about you.
Of course she didn't.
Okay, I know how she knew. I bet it was my brother. He must have told her about you after we ran away. He must have said your name. You know, he had the cops on us.
On me. Remember, I was the adult in the eyes of the law.
Funny. I always figured you, I don't know, wiped me out of your head. You were good at that.
It's called survival.
You don't have to tell me about survival or dissociation.
You're right. I did set aside the memory of you for 5 years. But when I saw her name...
Wait, 5 years? How did you get through college and law school and... You didn't even have a high school diploma when we ran away. Well, me either, thanks to you.
Have you actually spent the last 40 years blaming me for your educational deficits?
Ooh, have you actually spent the last 40 years blaming me for your giving up your singing career?
As you can see, I've moved on.
Oh yeah, I can see. Lawyer. Ooh, the watch, the earrings, even your casual clothes reek of money. You must have switched from defending battered women to rich criminals. Drug lords.
I gave up criminal law, gave up any notion it could lead to justice.
Then what?
PI, personal injury.
An ambulance chaser, you?
Hardly. I'm a litigator of mass torts.
Ooh, like what?
Large class action lawsuits, plaintiffs' counsel.
I know what mass torts are. I may not be a lawyer, but I read the news. I mean, what kind of cases? What defendants?
Big tobacco, big chemical, big pharmaceutical. I'm assuming you've read about some of my cases. The record-setting compensation I receive from my clients. Said you read the news.
I never saw your name.
I don't give quotes to the media. You never Googled me.
No. So you get these gigantic awards and you get to keep what? How much of that money?
I'm very good at what I do. What I do is make corporations pay. Enough so their shareholders notice. And you have no idea. No idea how hard I worked. The price I paid to get to where I am.
Oh! Ah! Of course!
this place? Because I looked it up. This is not a Medicaid place. I saw how much they charge, and I thought, who in my mother's life has that kind of money?
Now you know.
But what I don't know is why. You told me how you met her, but then what? But you become her bestie for life, just like that?
Not just like that.
Then what?
Suffice it to say, I owe your mother a great debt.
It must be great, because she's been here 5 months. I checked. And on how much they charge per month for a private room, that's a total of...
I am aware of the total.
And another thing, if she's been here for 5 months, how come they just told me about
You're
that?
not the easiest person to track down. The investigator, one of the best, told me she's never encountered a target with such a scant digital footprint. Quite an accomplishment.
Thank you.
She did turn up hospital records, but they consistently noted address unknown. Curious.
Can't do that. That is illegal. I may not be a lawyer, but I know my rights. You're such a big-time lawyer. You should know about HIPAA.
Yes, I do know the law on patient privacy. Nevertheless,
Yeah, that's always the way it is with you people.
you people.
Lawyers,
Uh,
doctors, bureaucrats, the people in charge. The rules don't apply to you.
I am hardly in charge.
Nevertheless, to your expensive investigator, you think that you know everything about my life, but you won't tell me one simple thing. What's the deal between you and my mother? Who is she to you?
She saved my life.
How? Come on. Come on, it's not like you're gonna lose control. Just tell me what happened. What are you afraid of? I always could tell when you were afraid. Nobody else could see it. You're so good at hiding, but I could tell. What's wrong?
My voice! I can't!
What is it?
My voice is gone!
What happened?
No, can't go on!
You're just nervous.
No, it's my voice. It's gone!
It's normal to be afraid. Your first gig.
I'm not afraid.
Yes, you are. Scaredy cat. You're nothing but a scaredy cat.
You're the baby doll.
Scaredy cat.
I'm not!
Prove it. Get out there and sing.
Stop that!
Woo! See? Told you so. Maybe you have to be mad to sing. Well, sing mad. Come on. Sing for me. Sing to me. Now go. Go!
Down on me. Down on me. Looks like everybody in the world is down on me. Mary and Martha, don't you weep, 'cause tears and moans is for the weak. Feels like all the world is down on me. Down on you. Down on me. It's up to us to make us free. You always did know how to get your way.
Uh-huh. I just know how to suss out what you want. Underneath that plate armor of yours.
All right. You win. But that story really does call for a bottle. A good one. There's a shop on the corner to your left, Healthy Spirits.
You mean a liquor store?
It's not your typical corner liquor store.
Why don't you go? I'm not your secretary.
Who uses that word anymore?
Well, assistant, whatever, you know what I mean. You want your bottle so much, go get it your own. I'm not going to be part of it.
I'm not an alcoholic. You won't be enabling. Or is it that it would be too difficult for you? You didn't say how long you've been sober.
No. I can go to a liquor store without... You know, if you think you're setting a trap, it won't work. It's just that I don't know why you can't go. I mean, would it be too difficult for you to run your own errand?
I can't go because your mother doesn't like being left alone, and speaking of being afraid, apparently you're terrified to be alone in the room with her.
Fine, I'll go.
They'll charge it to my card. Are you satisfied now? I'm talking to her. What more do you want? You must know what it costs. To tell that tale, even after all the repetitions, depositions, each investigation, each new therapist. No one in my life knows that story. Outside of the therapist and you, of course. You're the only one who shares it. It's ours, not hers. What does she deserve to know? Okay, I know it's your tale too. So why don't you tell her? Be my guest. Tell it from your point of view. Is that a laugh? That's the first laugh I've heard from you since... when? Right. Since we got the news. Compassionate release. What a joke. You know I'm mad at you. This little scheme of yours. Of course I'll forgive you. What choice do I have? If you can't forgive the dying, you'll carry it forever. But Sweet always said, I wish you could have known her. Another pastor's wife, you would have loved her. And she, you, mothers number 2 and 3. What will I do without you? Mama dear. My dear. What's all that?
Oh, don't worry. I got your liquor. And you weren't kidding about the expensive part. But I figured if you were going to drink, you'd need some food too, so let me guess. You haven't eaten since breakfast, if you had breakfast.
I had a cappuccino.
Oh, right. I know you, no matter how broke we were.
Giovanni never charged me.
I know, of course not. He was in love with you. Everyone was. That's how you always got everything for free.
I never got anything for free. Not one thing. Except for my mother's love, and I don't need to tell you how that was ripped away from me.
I know. But at least you knew the deal. I thought my mother's love was free. My father's too, until she killed him. God, hey, I got your favorite. From that tiny Filipino place, just past your fancy liquor store.
How much was it? I've got some cash.
Oh, please. I may not have enough for money for your 30-year-old scotch, but I can pay for cheap takeout.
Is she...
Sleep. Oh.
As much as you like food, I never can figure out why you always forgot to eat.
I have other things on my mind. I don't suppose you thought to ask for cups at the restaurant.
I did better than that. I know how you hate the taste of plastic. They're not exactly elegant, but still.
Where did you snack them?
In the kitchen, in the basement. You sure make it hard to find.
I'm surprised they let you in. Dinner was 2 hours ago.
Oh, never underestimate a manic depressive with white privilege. What's left of it?
Isn't the accepted term bipolar disorder?
Oh, now it's bipolar spectrum. They'll come up with something else. Me, I like manic depressive. It sounds like what it feels like. And I don't know. Kind of sounds like a superhero. Manic depressive! Yeah! Or a horror movie. You're welcome.
Thank you. Sure you don't want some? It's quite nice. Balance, smoke, and peat.
So it's worth the price tag? First, there wasn't one, not in the bottles in the locked case, but I asked.
Naturally, you would. And yes, it's worth it. You don't have to take my word.
For the record, I'm not clinically paranoid, but if I was, like I said, about laying a trap.
I'm not laying a trap. I just know you. How you like to decline and decline before surrender. How that makes surrender sweeter.
Like I said, I'm not the same person I was 40 years ago. You know, I worked hard too to get where I am. Well, it may not look like much to you from your lofty vantage point, but it is to me. And that's why I'm here. Because I'm ready for the next step. My sponsor says I'm ready. She saved my life, so here I am.
And yet, you brought 2 glasses.
And yet, Coca-Cola, point,
Point.
toast,
Spit.
in your eye. So, you've got your expensive bottle, your liquid courage. Do I get my story now?
It was a rebellion in the prison, or in the language of those in power, a riot. I'm in a room with Mama Vim. It's a small room, no windows. Suddenly, noises, shouting, alarms, feet running, more shouting, gunshots. Some loud bangs. Mama Vim springs into action like she already knew what would happen. She props a chair under the doorknob, pushes the table against it, sits on the table, pats it for me. She doesn't say a word. The footsteps come and go, and then more voices. Pounding on the door, pounding. The table shakes, the chair slips, the door pushes open. Seven women, prisoners, charge in. They grab me, start to take me out. Mama Vim says, "Not her, she's on our side." They say, "We need a hostage." All the guards got out, she's all we got. Mama Vim says, "Who among you is not a mother?" Who among you has not lost a daughter to forces more powerful than you? They hesitate, she says. Besides, they won't care if she dies. A black woman? One of them yells. She's a lawyer. She's part of the system that's killing us. Take her. They take me.
I thought you said she saved you.
The days blur. They keep me in the cell block. I hear them arguing. Mama Vim was right. The officials don't care if I die, if any of us die. They've cut off food, power, water, the thirst. It drives you mad. The ringleaders, the 7, take me to a roof, strip me naked, wrap a chain around my feet, stand me on the block. I am on the block. I can see across the yard rows and rows of faceless men in riot gear, rifles ready. Some have what looked like missiles. Beyond the fence, news crews, TV cameras, lights sweep back and forth. Suddenly, one of the 7 unwraps the chain and it lands on my back. Metal whip. Again. Again.
Are you okay?
I am safe, I am well, I am safe, I am whole, I am safe.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make
You didn't make me.
You don't have to go on.
I do. Once I start, I must continue to the end, to the point where I am safe when she saves me. I lost consciousness. I was told what happened next. The guards prepare to launch incendiary devices. Then your mother suddenly appears. She steps up on the block, raises her hands, and speaks. Everyone stops, listens. TV cameras whir. When she's done, 7 circle her. There's some discussion. Apparently, she offers to replace me as their hostage. She says, I may be nothing but an inmate to the guards, but their bosses will know. The people watching in their living rooms will see me for what I was once upon a time, one of them, a nice white church lady. One of the 7 waves a rag, calls down, asks for medical assistance, allows me to be taken out. The next day, the governor intervenes, opens negotiations, makes concessions. The rebellion ends.
Why did they do that to you?
It was a visual metaphor.
What?
Incarceration as the new slavery.
Were they black?
Who?
The women who did that to you.
Does it matter? Would the answer to that question affect your understanding of the systemic historical forces behind their actions? We're all puppets in a punch and Judy show that is this country.
So, Mom told you what happened after, while you were unconscious.
No, she wouldn't talk about it. I had to get it from the other women.
Did you see it on TV?
I was still in surgery. First of many.
You didn't see it later? Didn't they have VCRs then?
By the time I started looking, the tapes were all recorded over or degraded.
You didn't look at what the newspapers said?
Why would I trust what they said?
Why wouldn't Mom talk about it?
She always said it doesn't matter now. What matters is that you're alive. I need a smoke.
Why didn't you tell her what you did? Are you awake? You want to be here, right? Okay, so here I am. What do we do now?
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You never know, dear. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't come visit. Or call. Or write. Oh. I started letters. I in the beginning, in New York, she got the address for me. She kept saying, "You still have a mother." She kept saying, "You'll regret it if you don't." But I didn't know what to say. Dear Mom, having a great time. Lots of drugs, lots of sex, lots of parties. Wild parties in downtown lofts. Lots of sex with her, sex with strangers, keeping up with her and her musician friends. Dear Mom, I miss you. Dear Mom, are you okay? What's life like in prison? No, I didn't ask that. I didn't imagine your life going on. You were stopped for me, frozen. Mostly, I didn't think of you at all. When I was with her, the drugs helped with that. Parties, the sex, scrambling for the next squat, the next meal. Mostly her. She filled me up. She crowded you out. Except in dreams. Was that you coming to me at night? Oh, was that just me wanting you? But when I woke up, I couldn't hold on to you. The smoke of you. And then when it all blew up with her, when I left New York, the thing that came back, rushing back, it wasn't really you. It was just this rage. Dear Mom, I was wrong to be so mad at you. Oh, God. Can't do this. I'm not ready. Can't make amends until... You didn't have to kill him. Yeah, well, you could have just, I don't know, divorced him. I mean, if he really did that, you could have just, if you really just found out, if you hadn't just been turning away, not looking, lying to yourself, you could have done what normal people do. Get divorced. I mean, you know, I know you don't believe in divorce, but God, murder? You didn't have to kill him. And then saying it was all for me. Well, how was I supposed to live with that? My dad dead, and my mom in prison, and it was all for me? How do I live with that? Did you ever think about that? What that would do to me? Why do you think I ended up crazy, homeless? Why do you think I spent years in a fog? Oh, how many times I tried to kill myself. The only reason I'm still here is because I'm a fuck up. I couldn't even succeed in killing myself. Oh no. Oh no. I'm sorry. Oh my God. No. Oh God, are you okay? Oh, I didn't mean to. Oh God. Oh God, no. What are you saying? What do you mean? Oh, I don't know what to do. What? Somebody. Where's the help? Help me. I can't. I can't.
Pull yourself together. You can.
Is she?
Her morphine pump got loose. Again, I've watched the nurses enough to know what to do.
Morphine. Why are you giving her morphine?
The doctor prescribed it.
But she wouldn't want it. She wouldn't want morphine. I know, because she would want to be clear. It was all the Valium she was taking. That's the reason she was so crazy back then. And then when she went to prison, she got off of it. When she was in jail after she was arrested, she told me, she said she never felt so clear. The clarity, she said, the clarity is astonishing. I remember those words. So I know she wouldn't want to be doped up.
Once again, may I remind you, this isn't about you. I'm sure even your sponsor would agree that in your mother's condition, the morphine is medically necessary.
Is she?
She's asleep.
She used to tell me how when Grandpa died, that he hadn't been talking for 2 weeks. And then all of a sudden he sat up, opened his eyes wide, raised his arms and said, "The weight has lifted. The weight of my sins. It feels so light. I feel like I could float." And then he died, smile on his face. Well, that's how she wanted to go. She always said.
I believe her vision of a good death shifted a bit over the years.
Me? I just want that light.
What light?
Did you know? All those stories you hear about people whose hearts stopped. They talk about being in a tunnel or walking toward the bright light. But their hearts were jolted back on again. I've been in that tunnel. There wasn't light. How about you? What's your vision of a good death?
Honestly? I don't know.
You never thought about it? Oh, come on. You never imagined your obituary in time?
Well, perhaps that.
Yeah. And after all the accomplishments, she died peacefully surrounded by family and left her. Yeah. You look good.
You too.
Don't lie. I don't need it. One good part about getting old, getting free of all that.
Some aging women never get free of all of that.
Maybe it's from living outside. I always laugh when I hear women complaining about turning invisible at 50. They don't know. Invisibility is safety, relatively speaking. I perfected the art of invisibility long before 50. My one skill.
How long were you outside?
Long enough. That's how I kill time. Outside, inside, outside, inside.
How long have you been in supportive housing?
How did you... Oh, right. You're an investigator. You know everything about my life.
Not everything.
5 years. I'm ready for an independent place. But it's a long, long waiting list. I'll be dead before I get a kitchen and a bathroom of my own.
You still write?
A little. I have a blog. Don't laugh.
I'm not laughing.
I have a small but faithful following, under a pen name and a friend's account, which is why your investigator didn't turn around.
What do you write about? Recovery?
Oh, God, no. Recovery's boring. That's why it's so hard. I write about SRO life. Everybody talks about the homeless. Nobody talks about what it's like when they get inside. It's like in those places. You wouldn't believe the stories.
Well, good for you.
You still sing?
No.
Oh, no. I can imagine you're not singing. Not even in the shower?
No.
Oh. I used to love hearing you sing in the shower.
You had a shower?
That place on Avenue C.
How long did that last?
I don't know, but it's the one I remember the best.
I remember the place with the bathtub and the kitchen.
Oh yeah. Oh, at that time you decided to take a bath before the party was over.
It was 5 in the morning. I thought that would be a signal time to go home.
All it did was send the party into overdrive.
After you plugged it.
Oh, yeah, but only after, who is that guy? You know, the drummer with the dreads, the one who was in love with you.
Several drummers were in love.
Yeah, I know, but that one, you know, the one with the dreads. You know, he had dreads way before they became a thing.
A thing.
You know what I mean.
I do know what you mean. But I can't recall a single name.
Yeah. I get so old.
Speak for yourself. I'm in my prime.
You got grandkids?
I wish. But I skipped the kids, you?
Oh, same. You married?
Was partnered and married, then not. You?
Oh, no.
Long-term relationships.
You mean after you?
You and I didn't.
Let me.
No. No, don't!
Let me.
No, get off of me! You make me weak!
It's not weak to be sad.
I'm mad, not sad, not weak. They kill the weak ones. Hunt them down.
He wasn't weak. He was the strongest.
But they killed him! The king of love. Fuck nonviolence. Where did that get him? Fuck martyrdom. Fuck dying. Fuck death!
it's not just about him, is it? It's about your grandma, isn't it? And your grandpa? Wouldn't it be about a year ago?
Not about. To the day.
Remember what you said when Sweet died? I'm schooled at losing folks.
Only I keep flunking, flunk, flunk.
It's okay.
No, it's not. You keep saying that. You always say, don't do that. Don't hug me. I don't know. No,
Yes,
no.
yes, you need to cry.
Easy for you to say. You cry like a bus pipe. Boo.
And you never cry. Like your pipes are clogged. What's worse?
I can't. I can't.
We're a couple sorry chicks, aren't we?
That's my line, doofus.
Doofus, that's my word.
Burk! Burk! Burk, burk, burk!
Doofus, doofus. Tell me a story. About Sweet. About Sweet and the Reverend. Come on. Once upon a time.
Once upon a time, a little orphan girl climbed on a Greyhound bus in Mississippi all by herself.
And she was so brave. She rode all the way to Chicago, to her grandmama's house.
Her granddaddy's too. It was like a gingerbread house. Tiny, cozy.
Her grandma made the best pies in the world.
They called her Sweet.
Sweet, sweet, cuddle, cuddle.
Cuddle, cuddle. I know what you're doing, Mama Finn. It's not going to work.
What's she doing?
Pulling the strings. She's the one who orchestrated this little reunion, her two daughters.
Me and you? She has another daughter, my sister, or did.
She died.
How would I know?
You never found her.
No.
But we were close. In Providence, we finally had a trail.
Right, and then we left. Because you just had to get to New York. Well, trail went cold after that.
I don't recall you taking any steps to look when we were together. Trails do go cold after 5 years.
Yeah, might have been a different story if I'd had the money to hire a fancy investigator. Did Mom ever ask you to find her?
No.
Curious. Seeing as how you owed her such a great debt. You'd think she'd call it in for that.
I believe she'd made her peace with not.
Oh, no. Don't tell me that. I know my mother. She would never make her peace with not seeing my sister again. Losing my sister was what started the whole shit show. Everything my mother did, every stupid, crazy thing she did. Oh, it was all about my sister. Even if she did make you her substitute daughter, she wouldn't give that up. It was always about my sister.
And you.
If it was ever about me, that wasn't until she killed him. That did me a whole lot of good. Whoa. Whoa. What was that?
What?
She just said.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say you were drunk.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say you were drunk.
I always could hold my liquor better than you.
You always could lie better than me. Huh? Like when, one of your heroes invites you backstage and at first, you don't introduce me at all. like I'm a fly on the wall. You just, until they look at me with that sort of question mark in their eyes, and so you say, oh, this? Oh. This, Phoebe? Yeah,
She helps me out sometimes, with the shows. Like you were big enough for groupies, like that's what I was. Yeah, but I get it. It must have been a little embarrassing. Mm-hmm. What with the image you were working on? Moving from being a token in the coffee houses to Black Power singer-songwriter. I must have been a little embarrassing.
Indeed, the things that came out of your mouth. I knew you were naive when I met you, but...
I was 16, for fuck's sake.
I didn't think you were stupid. I don't suppose it occurred to you what it would do to my career. If I'm pegged as the lesbian singer, maybe it'll be okay 40 years from now, but it's still 1973 if you haven't noticed.
It's not such a big secret, you and me.
In our small West Village crowd.
Oh, and you're aiming for the big time, aren't you? Opening for Gil Scott-Heron, even if it's a late fill-in.
You took care of the big time for me, didn't you? I could never show my face again. Not with the club owners, not with the agents, definitely not with the other musicians. You made sure everyone knew who you were. Your little minstrel show.
Your whole set that night was a minstrel show. You always wanted to be a singer-songwriter. Nothing else mattered to you like that. No thing and nobody. It was your art. It was your art. And now you've got your big chance and you don't have the guts to sing your own songs. A set of spirituals opening for Gil Scott?
It was a tribute to Odetta.
It was a cop-out and you knew it. And you were pissed that I called you on it.
And what would you call what you did?
Showing you what you were doing. Putting the truth in front of you. The exaggerated truth. It's called parody. Glory, glory, hallelujah. When I lay my burden down. Glory, glory, hallelujah. When I lay my burden down. I done wrong and lied my ass off. I done caused my share of hurting. But the Lord, may He forgive me. Sure didn't mean to do no wrong. Okay. I was stupid. I was hurt, I was mad, I was stupid.
Beyond stupid.
I had just spent
That was...
the last 5 years of my life trailing in your shadow. The years other people spent finishing high school and college.
Other people in your demographic.
I had nothing. No diploma, no job, no money, no family. My father was dead, my mother was in prison for killing him. And who knows where my sister was.
What about your big brother?
Oh, my brother got a warrant out for your arrest. You thought I'd go back to that? I burned every bridge from LA to New York when we ran away. But that was okay. Because I was with you. With you I could be somebody. I'm smart, strong, talented, confident. I wanted to be just like you. I wanted to be you.
And all I wanted was for you to be you. You were such a fierce little thing when I met you, then I don't know how or when, but you turned into a lapdog.
That's it? I always wondered what I'd done to deserve what you did. And it was just, you got bored with me. I threw away my life to run away with you. You threw me out like last week's trash. No, worse than that. You couldn't just dump me quietly, no. You had to make a big show of it, a big sick joke.
Ladies and gentlemen, okay, screw that shit. Wild women and wild men gather round for tonight. Our little one, our mascot, crosses the big threshold. 21, she can buy a drink all on her own. And to celebrate this milestone, a story. She loves when I tell a story. It makes her wet. This is an old story, very old, about a daughter in love with her dead daddy. Her daddy was a priestly, God-appointed king. No one questioned him. Even when he sacrificed his eldest, placed her on the altar of his needs, banished or dead, it was all the same. But did this daughter shed a tear for her elder sister? Did she love her daddy any less? Did she think about her sister's fate when her mummy killed her daddy? Did she take her mummy's side of the grief? No. She loved him all the more. She was jealous of her sister, dead or gone. She wanted Daddy's dick. When she lay down with other lovers, shades of the real thing, she closed her eyes and dreamt of Daddy's dick. And when she came, she cried out, "Daddy! Oh, Daddy! Oh!"
So you made a fool of me. And then I went and made a fool of myself. At your little gig.
You made a fool of me. The reason you ran away from me in the first place was because you couldn't face what was left. Because you couldn't deal with your mother's truth about your preacher daddy. Because it was easier to run. And apparently, you spent the rest of your life doing just that. Running, getting high, doing anything but looking at the truth. It's just as well you never went to see her. It would have killed her. To see what you became, it would have killed her. To see that her sacrifice was in vain.
I know what she said. What she did.
Who?
Mom. It was on the news that night. Oh yeah, I had a TV. Then, an apartment. One of my stable periods. Oh, they didn't show you what happened to you.
What did they show?
Oh, it was all about her. How she prevented further bloodshed. And what she said up there on the roof, and later to the prison officials.
Later? No one told me anything about later. What'd she say?
Now you're the one who wants the story. Why don't you ask her?
Why would she tell me now, even if she could?
I get it off her chest. Deathbed confession. You want to tell her? Huh? You can talk, can't you? Ooh, do-goo. You've been saving your voice for your last words, weren't you? Tell her. She told a Bible story about the Canaanite woman. You remember that one, right? Your grandfather was a preacher, too.
It's been a while.
She came to Jesus for help. Her daughter had a devil. Jesus ignored her, brushed her off, told her he had come for the Israelites. His disciples said, send her away. She was just a Canaanite after all. But she persisted. Finally, Jesus said, "It's not right to take the children's bread and give it to the dogs."
And she said, "Truth, Lord. Yet even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from their master's table."
Right. And Jesus praised her faith and cured her daughter.
Even the dogs. Smart move, Mama. Why wouldn't you tell me that? All they were asking for was decent food.
But that's not what she was hiding. After she was done talking, the newscaster explained that she was appointed the new spokeswoman for the rioters. She didn't offer to take your place as hostage. She took charge of the negotiations, played white savior. She played you. I'll give her this much. It worked. The guards didn't launch their incendiary devices. And, like she said, we lived.
And yet, she never told me. All those years. And yet, you had to tell me now. You needed to destroy the one soft thing I had. You still don't get it, do you? About your little minstrel show? What you call parody?
Listen, it's not like I was in blackface.
You certainly were. Absent only the soot. Don't you dare cry.
I'm not.
You still don't get it. It's not what the act revealed in you, or not just that. Not what it did to my singing career, my reputation with my peers, that I couldn't face them after that. It's what it did to me. It was me I couldn't face. What did it say about me that I had been in love with you, had stayed with you for 5 years, practically forever at that age? And youth is no excuse. I was old enough to know the possibilities. I knew what you had inherited and hadn't fully faced. But I chose not to dwell on that. I chose to let the dog sleep on, and once that rabid dog rose up and bit me in the face, it was me I hated, not the dog. I hated the girl who loved the dog. But as you say, I'm not the same person I was. I put that girl away, became the woman that I am, fell in love with the logic of the law, and then somehow I fell in love with her. What a fool I was. And that's the gift you've given me. By telling me the truth of what she said. Oh, it hurts. I won't lie. Ugh, it hurts. Nonetheless, it's a gift. Of course, that wasn't what you planned in telling me. Knowing you had lost the war, knowing you deserved to lose. Your plan was, in your retreat, to leave scorched to earth and body parts. With what ammunition you had left, just like you did 40 years ago with your minstrel show, but this time, your plan failed because this will make me even stronger. My love for her, that was my last weak link. And you took care of that. You burned away the one last shred of anything.
Are you okay? Where's the call button? I need a stroke. You might be having a stroke. Oh shit! I'll just
No! She was my safe place! My safe place!
You'll be okay. You will. You're strong. You're safe.
What the fuck do you know?
I'm sorry.
Sorry. Sorry. Fuck your useless ass sorries. Own your stinky shit for once and leave. Take your sorries and leave me be!
I meant to hurt you.
Yeah, me too. I meant to hurt you.
Yeah. Well, you always did have good aim, Diana. Thank you for getting me here to say goodbye.
Thank you for getting me to tell a story.
Oh, you mean the prison riot? You've never...
To investigators, therapists, not to anyone in my life.
Oh. Does that mean I'm in your life?
Don't push your luck.
Don't push yours. You know where to find me. If you ever. Right.
display.